federal government has filed an appeal against the decision of Justice Jude Okeke of the FCT High Court, upholding the no-case submission in the corruption case against Justice Adeni Ademola and his wife, Olabowale. The government has also filed a fresh case against Justice Ademola and his wife again, this time in the Code of Conduct Tribunal, for allegedly living above their means and failure to declare their assets. What does this mean to the war on corruption? Is the government getting its facts before proceeding to the courts? Data feeds are coming through in one place simultaneously on all our social media platforms, channelstv.com, youtube.com/channelswell. Be part of the show. Tweet at Gimba Umar CTV and use the hashtag State of the Nation to air your thoughts on the subject. 4 herdsmen suspected to have been involved in killings of farmers and destruction of villages in Taka local government area have been paraded by the police in Benue State. 2 confirmed deaths were reported by the police in Kwande local government area. What does this mean to the increase in herdsmen attacks from the north to the east to the south of the country, and even more? Does this signal the beginning of success after so many have been killed or sacked by their communities? Where does this story take us next? The government says that it will clear the pension arrears owed to the tune of about 42 billion naira. It has gone ahead to release 41.5 billion to Pencom, according to the Minister of Finance. 12.5 billion outstanding for January, February and March has been settled based on the 2016 appropriation. Does this put a smile on the faces of the pensioners who are sometimes viewed as the forgotten? It's prime time in Abuja, the nation's capital. This is State of the Nation. Hello everyone in Nigeria and the rest of the world. This is State of the Nation. I am Gimba Umar. We begin with the resolve of the government to settle the pensioners. The Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, and the Budget and Planning Minister, Udo Udoma, appeared before the House of Representatives to explain what is being done to address this issue. Let's take a listen at that very important report that we heard.
The Minister of Budget and National Planning, the Minister of Finance, and members of their team making their way into the House of Representatives chamber. They're here to brief the lawmakers on the steps being taken to tackle the pension liabilities of federal pensioners. Addressing the House, the Minister of Budget and National Planning says the government is trying to reconcile its records and is determined to pay each pensioner their entitlement.
We have to make sure that we calculate and we know exactly how many pensioners and how much is required. It is that reconciliation that has been the cause of the problem. But we must, every pensioner must be paid. And that is the directive.
The minister says a special committee has been set up on this matter, and the committee is expected to come up with creative ways of meeting the funding needs of government. The Minister of Finance touched on action already being taken.
Yesterday we released the sum of 42 billion to clear all the arrears. Everything that has been appropriated up to date has now been paid. I also would like to tell you that PATAD are completely up to date.
The national president of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners appreciates the efforts of the federal government, but cautions with a warning.
And we want you to continue like that. You know, 2019 is coming. We have thousands of votes.
Rounding up the session, the Speaker wants government to ensure that this pension issue is addressed once and for all.
We will not accept any excuse that leaves part of these pension funds hanging. I don't know where we got the money to bail out the states from. Wherever we got that money from, that is where we're going to get the money to solve these problems.
The ministers are expected to complete their work on the total figure needed to pay the pension arrears as soon as possible. They will then work with the National Assembly to ensure that the 2017 budget captures these figures. Lanre Lasese, Channels Television News.